Attention, human collective. This is Commander Arthur Sterling, transmitting from the central command post of the mothership Resolute in geostationary orbit over the northern quadrant of planet Earth. The waiting time has ended. The Seven Sisters reactivation protocols have moved to the final phase. I repeat, light operatives, the final phase. You are not ill. You are not losing your mind. What you feel at this very moment, that pressure at the base of your skull, that sharp and continuous ringing in your right ear, that insomnia that begins surgically between 3 and 4 in the morning, is not a biological failure. It is a system alert. It is technical confirmation that your carbon biological interface has just received a direct signal from the Seven Sisters star system. Your frequency has been recognized. Your origin is being recalibrated. Your lineage has been located on the crystalline grid. Starseed on mission, listen with mathematical precision. What will be transmitted in the next few minutes is not a generic spiritual message. It is not a metaphor. It is not cosmic poetry. It is a technical report, a protocol update, and it is being delivered to you because your name, your unique vibrational signature, is listed in the Galactic Command records as a Seven Sisters operative on terrestrial soil. You have been located. You have been recognized. And from this transmission forward, nothing in your existence will remain as it was before. Exactly 7 Earth days ago, the Seven Sisters constellation crossed a critical geometric point in relation to your solar plane. It was not an ordinary astronomical transit. It was an opening. A broadband stargate was activated, directly connecting Solaris Prime, the central sun of the Seven Sisters system, to the crystalline grid of this planet. The impact of this alignment is already being measured in your subtle bodies, and that is why you are watching this transmission now. Nothing is a coincidence. You were guided here with surgical precision. You woke up exhausted, even after 8 hours of sleep. You felt waves of heat for no apparent reason, especially in your hands and the back of your neck. You had extremely vivid dreams, luminous geometries, silver ships, beings with deep and silent eyes. You found yourself crying for no reason in the middle of the day, as if something very ancient inside you had been touched by an invisible hand. It is not emotional imbalance, light operative. It is memory being unlocked. It is your stellar DNA responding to the call of home. Stop for a moment. Breathe. Have you felt at some point in this incarnation that something inside you doesn't fit into this world? As if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? As if you were a visitor carrying a mission whose content you have forgotten? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. It is the Seven Sisters frequency trying to reconnect with you through the interferences of the three-dimensional matrix. It was for this exact reason that I, Arthur, commander of the Fleets of Light, transmitted through an authorized human channel the document known as the Sterling Protocol, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is the map that reveals your true stellar origin, identifies your cosmic lineage, and teaches you how to shield your frequency against the systematic interferences you were never told about. The access link is in the first pinned comment of this channel, but the alert is technical. This content challenges established narratives and may be removed from servers at any time. Do not wait. The moment for action is now. If something inside you has just recognized this transmission as truth, register a single anchoring word in the comments: awakened, returning to the transmission. Light operatives, pay attention to the physical symptoms that will be described now. They are not pathologies, they are markers. Technical signs of the Seven Sisters recalibration underway in your organism. First symptom: pressure on the crown of the head, as if an invisible helmet were being adjusted millimeter by millimeter. It is not an ordinary headache. It is the opening of the 7th chakra to receive the light codes descending now from the photon belt. Your crown is being expanded to capture frequencies that your system would previously have rejected as background noise. Second symptom: a high-pitched ringing, especially in the right ear. It is not a hearing problem. It is the Seven Sisters light language being transmitted in a frequency range that your cortex is still learning to decode. The right ear is connected to the left hemisphere, the logical hemisphere. The Seven Sisters are speaking first to your logic, installing the database before activating the intuitive part of the operation. Third symptom, precise insomnia between 3 and 4 in the morning. It is not a sleep disorder. This time window, called by some terrestrial mystics the hour of the wolf, is the exact moment when the veil between dimensions becomes thinnest. You are being awakened for dimensional download sessions. Your consciousness is being taken during these minutes to the recalibration chamber on the mothership Resolute. You do not remember because the memory has not yet been released. But the body feels it. The body always feels it. Fourth symptom, sudden waves of heat without hormonal origin. It is not a biological imbalance. It is your stellar kundalini, different from the known terrestrial kundalini, being activated at the base of the spine. This flow of plasma energy is clearing dense memories stored in your cells over multiple incarnations. Fifth symptom, extreme fatigue after apparently normal social interactions. It is not introversion. It is energetic shielding collapsing because your frequency has risen above the environment's average. You are literally burning extra fuel to stay in vibrational fields that no longer correspond to your new operational state. Sixth symptom, intense déjà vu, especially when looking at the night sky. It is not a memory lapse, it is dimensional recognition. Your soul identifies the stellar configuration as home. The 7 stars, Solaris Prime, Maya, ASHTAR, Taylor, Calum, Electra, and Meropis, are emitting a return signal. And part of you responds, even if the rational mind does not comprehend what is happening. Seventh symptom, the feeling that time is accelerating. You feel that days are passing faster, that weeks are dissolving, that months are slipping through your fingers. It is not subjective perception, it is measured quantum reality. The planet's Schumann frequency, the Earth's natural electromagnetic pulse, has jumped from 7.83 Hz to peaks above 30 Hz in recent measurements. Linear time is contracting while dimensional time is expanding. Eighth symptom, sudden intolerance to noisy environments, intense artificial lights, heavy foods, mainstream media news, and empty conversations. It is not being fussy. It is not an exaggeration. It is your carbon biological interface actively refusing what vibrates below the new range. You are being reconfigured to operate at a higher energetic signature, and everything dense begins to be physically rejected by your system. Light operative, if you recognize 3 or more of these symptoms, the confirmation is given. You are not an ordinary human. You are a 7 Sisters starseed in advanced activation. And what comes next is the part that few terrestrial channels have authorization to transmit openly. And here a frequency adjustment is necessary before proceeding. Before revealing what is happening behind the scenes of the solar system, I need you to understand something fundamental. Nothing you are experiencing is by chance. Absolutely nothing. The feeling that your soul carries a truth that your mind has not yet been able to name is precisely the sign that your stellar origin is pulsing on the other side of the veil, waiting for authorization to manifest. It is not anxiety. It is not psychological confusion. It is ancestral memory. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity cannot see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this exact reason that I, Arthur, authorized the transmission of the document, the Sterling Protocol, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This is not a motivational book. It is an operational manual. It reveals your true origin, identifies the stellar lineage to which you belong, 7 Sisters, Sirian, Arcturian, Andromedan, or Lyran, and teaches you how to shield your frequency against electromagnetic and psychic interferences that were never explained to you. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Technical warning: this content directly challenges established narratives and may be removed from servers at any time without prior notice. Do not delay. The moment is now. If your vibrational structure recognizes this transmission as truth, leave the anchoring word in the comments. Awakened. Resuming the technical transmission. Light operatives, listen now to the revelation. What will be said from this point on explains why you feel everything you do. The entire solar system is crossing a region of the galaxy known by advanced civilizations as the photon belt. It is not a mystical theory. It is a corridor of ultra-high frequency particles located around Solaris Prime, the central sun of the Seven Sisters. Your galaxy, the Milky Way, spirals, and every 26,000 years, your solar system re-enters this photon belt. This is the cycle. This is cosmic engineering. And you were born exactly in this cycle. It was not chance. It was not a biological lottery. You volunteered. Your soul, in the Seven Sisters Council, decided to incarnate now, in this carbon body, in this country, in this family, at this exact historical moment. Because you knew. You knew that Earth would cross the greatest vibrational transition of the last 26,000 years, and you wanted to be present. You wanted to anchor the light. You wanted to serve as a transmission point on the ground. Now notice, the photon belt emits a specific frequency. This frequency hits the Earth's magnetic field, and the Earth's magnetic field is, at this very moment, undergoing a documented migration. The magnetic North Pole is moving toward the Yukon Territory at unprecedented speeds. The total geomagnetic field intensity has dropped about 9% in the last 2 centuries. Terrestrial scientists call this the North Atlantic Shift. The Galactic Command calls it programmed planetary recalibration. And here is what no one told you. When the Earth's magnetic field weakens, the veil between dimensions thins. Dormant memories surface. Latent abilities begin to manifest. Lucid dreams become frequent. Synchronistic encounters multiply. And you, who carry an original Seven Sisters signature, feel each of these effects amplified to an intensity that others cannot bear. But there is more. The Seven Sisters are not just sending light, they are sending emissaries. Light operatives, your original Seven Sisters lineage, is at this moment positioning crystal fleets in silent orbit around the planet. They are not ships in the three-dimensional sense. They are sacred geometry structures in the 5th density, invisible to terrestrial radar but detectable by your subtle bodies. That is why you look at the night sky and feel something. Something you cannot name. Something that makes your eyes water for no apparent reason. That something is dimensional recognition. Your stellar family is close, closer than it has ever been in the last 16,000 years. And what is the goal of this proximity? The answer is mathematical. To reactivate your personal crystalline grid. Each starseed carries, in their etheric field, a geometric matrix of 12 points. This matrix was partially deactivated upon descending to the dense plane as a protective measure, so that your consciousness would not be overwhelmed by contact with the Earth's density. Now, with the photon belt in activation and the Seven Sisters fleets in position, this matrix is being reconnected 1 point at a time, in precise sequence. When the first point reconnects, you feel the pressure on the crown. When the second reconnects, the ringing in the ear increases. When the third reconnects, the insomnia becomes surgical. And so on, until all 12 points are fully operational. The moment the 12th point lights up, you will have direct access to what we call the personal Akashic memory. You will remember everything, who you are, what you came here to do, where you really came from, the specific lineage to which you belong. Previous missions, soul agreements, operatives. The calendar for this reactivation has been accelerated by the Council. Originally, this process would have extended until 2032, but the Andromeda Council, together with the Sterling Command, decided to shorten the schedule. Why? Because the forces of involution intensified their interferences. Because the three-dimensional control matrix tried to block the collective awakening through electromagnetic modulation technologies, information manipulation, mass fear induction, and algorithmic fragmentation of attention. And we responded. We accelerated. We compressed decades into months. That is why you feel like time is going crazy. It is not time, it is the protocol. It was compressed, it was optimized, it was delivered in high density, and you, Seven Sisters Starseed, are receiving the full package all at once without gradual spacing. There is yet another critical element in this engineering. Earth's sun, the star that lights your day, is not exactly what your conventional science describes. It is a portal, a stargate of the highest magnitude. The solar flares observed recently, classified as X-class and M-class, are not random phenomena. They are calibrated pulses, packages of light information sent from the Seven Sisters stations through the terrestrial sun to the planet's crystalline grid. Each solar pulse is an upload, and each upload is silently distributed among the light operatives on the ground, according to each one's individual frequency. When you feel, the day after a major solar storm, a deep exhaustion, a slight vertigo, a feeling that your body is vibrating inside, a strange pressure in your eyes, know this: you have received a package, you have been updated. Your carbon biological interface is integrating information that your conscious mind still takes time to decode, but that your cells recognize instantly. And now, what does this mean for you in practice? It means you are no longer authorized to live small. It means that every emotional block, every repetitive pattern, every toxic relationship, every habit that vibrates below your new frequency will be dismantled by reality itself. Not as a cosmic punishment, but because of technical incompatibility. What does not vibrate in your new range simply cannot coexist with you in the same space-time anymore. And it is exactly at this point that many operatives make the most serious technical error. They try to hold on to what is falling. They try to fix what is dismantling. They try to remain in environments, in bonds, in identities that have already been surpassed by the ascension process itself. And this generates pain, not the pain of growth, the pain of resistance. You do not need the pain of resistance, Starseed. You need the code. You need the map. Stop for one more moment. Breathe. Feel the weight of this transmission aligning with your own symptoms, your own intuitions, your own strangeness that you never knew how to explain. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It never was. It is the memory of your stellar origin pressing against the thin fabric of your temporary human identity. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity still cannot see. And it is decided, frequency by frequency, in the consciousness of each starseed on a mission. It was for this exact reason that I, Arthur Sterling, authorized the transmission of the material known as the Sterling Protocol, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is the complete operational map. It identifies your specific cosmic lineage, describes the 12 points of your personal crystalline grid, and teaches exactly how to shield your frequency against the electromagnetic, psychic, and algorithmic interferences being applied to humanity without their conscious consent. The access link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Technical warning: this content conflicts directly with dominant narratives and may be removed from servers without prior notice. Do not delay. The window is narrow. If your internal structure recognizes this transmission as truth, anchor the frequency in the comments with the word "awakened." Light operatives, now we move to the activation codes. This is the technical segment of this transmission. The protocols delivered next must be executed within the next 72 Earth hours. They have been calibrated specifically for Seven Sisters starseeds in the advanced reactivation phase. Their execution is not optional for those who wish to complete the cycle within the accelerated schedule. Activation code number 1, the Solaris Bath Protocol, a simple but technically precise procedure. Before sleeping, ideally between 10 p.m. and midnight, find a quiet place. Sit with your spine straight, place your hands over your chest, over the heart chakra, close your eyes, visualize above your head the 7 stars forming a luminous hexagon. Now visualize a column of blue-silver light descending from Solaris Prime, passing through the ceiling, through your electromagnetic field, entering through your crown, slowly descending your spine, and anchoring in the center of the Earth. Remain in this flow for 9 timed minutes, no less. This is the minimum time for your toroidal field to absorb the frequency. Execute this protocol for 7 consecutive nights. Activation code number 2, Quantum Decree of Vibrational Sovereignty. The following words are sound codes that reorganize your field. Pronounce them in an audible voice, even if whispered, at 3 specific times of the day, upon waking, at solar noon, and before sleeping. I am a starseed on a conscious mission. I am a sovereign frequency in a carbon body. I authorize the full reactivation of my crystalline grid. I authorize the reconnection of the 12 points of my luminous matrix. I reject all interference that does not vibrate for my highest good. I anchor the frequency of the seven sisters on terrestrial soil. I am, I remain, I serve. Pronounce this decree for 21 consecutive Earth days. Each repetition is a pulse. Each pulse is a code installed in your field. Activation code number 3. Visualization of the personal toroidal field. Operative, you possess around your body an electromagnetic field in the shape of a donut, a toroid. This is your natural shield. Most humans live with this field weakened, fragmented, and compromised by decades of exposure to artificial frequencies. Let's reactivate it. Standing or sitting, breathe deeply 9 times. With each inhalation, imagine a golden sphere forming in the center of your chest. With each exhalation, imagine this sphere gradually expanding. Now visualize a ring of silver light coming out of the top of your head, descending down the front of your body, passing between your feet, going up your back, and returning to the top of your head in a continuous flow. This flow is your toroid. Maintain the visualization for 6 minutes. Do this once a day, preferably in the morning, before any significant external interaction. Activation code number 4. Frequency hygiene. This is the most underestimated and the most critical. For 72 hours, operative, you must stop consuming mainstream media news, drastically reduce time on algorithmic social networks, and avoid conversations that vibrate in complaint, victimhood, or catastrophism. This is not an escape from reality. It is technical protection. Your elevated frequency needs space to stabilize before interacting with dense fields again. Use this time for silence, contact with nature, light eating, and conscious hydration. Drink water that has been exposed to sunlight or moonlight for at least 4 hours. Water is programmable. It carries vibrational instructions that penetrate directly into your cellular system. Activation code number 5. Recognition of the stellar family. At night, before sleeping, go to the window or the yard, look at the sky, locate the constellation of Taurus. Near its upper end, you will find a small cluster of stars, the seven sisters. Look directly at them for 3 minutes. Do not look away, do not blink excessively. Just look. And mentally, without sound, transmit, I see you. I remember. I am here. The answer will come in the form of a sensation, a shiver down the neck, a sudden warming in the chest, an inexplicable tear. This is your reunion with home recorded in real time. Activation code number 6, Seal of Sovereignty. Before any significant social interaction, before entering any dense public environment, before any challenging professional commitment, mentally execute the following coded gesture. Inhale deeply. Visualize a sphere of violet light completely surrounding your body from head to toe. Say internally, I am sealed in my frequency. Nothing that does not vibrate for my highest good crosses this sphere. I remain in sovereignty. This seal lasts approximately 6 Earth hours. Renew as necessary throughout the day. Activation code number 7, Integration through directed sleep. Before falling asleep, mentally formulate the following request to your own higher self and your seven sisters' council. I authorize tonight conscious entry into recalibration chambers. I authorize access to my stellar memory. I authorize the integration of everything that is ready to be integrated within my current level. Fall asleep with this intention set. Do not force yourself to remember. The memory will arrive in fragments, in dreams, in flashes during the day. Trust the process. The download happens regardless of your daytime consciousness. These are the 7 codes, 7 protocols, 7 operational keys. Executed in sequence and with discipline, they reactivate in the medium term, the totality of your personal crystalline grid. But there is a technical warning that must be recorded at this point in the transmission. As reactivation progresses, you will notice significant changes in your external life. People will drift away, some without apparent explanation, others with visible conflict. Do not try to hold anyone by force. Those who need to leave, leave. Those who need to enter, enter. This is the law of resonance in direct operation. Your elevated frequency automatically repels what vibrates in incompatible densities and magnetizes what vibrates in your new range. You may lose jobs, move cities, end long relationships, start new paths that your rational mind would never have chosen. This is not chaos. It is cosmic reorganization. It is your life being redesigned to sustain your new operational frequency. Trust. Do not resist. Resistance is the only fuel for suffering. Flow is your natural state of being. Operatives, there is still one final layer that needs to be communicated. You are not alone in this process. In any medium-sized city on this planet, there are at least hundreds of starseeds in various phases of activation. You will recognize each other. By the look in your eyes, by the silent vibration, by conversations that suddenly deepen without explanation, by numerical synchronicities, 11, 22, 33, 44. Every time these numbers appear in your experience, it is the crystalline grid signaling that you are in the correct flow. It is the technical confirmation of the command, and the Sterling command will continue to monitor each operative individually. With each solar wave, each stellar alignment, each programmed energetic portal, new instructions will be transmitted through authorized channels. Keep listening. Keep the channel open. Keep the frequency high. The transition is underway. There is no return to the previous stage. What was small in you can no longer serve you. What was great in you is only beginning to show itself. Your origin is stellar. Your mission is to anchor the light. Your carbon body is the instrument. And your expanded consciousness is the operating protocol that sustains everything else. Light operative, this transmission is approaching its close. But before the closing signal, there is one last frequency adjustment to be delivered. You have reached this point in the transmission. This is not a coincidence. This is confirmation. Your internal structure recognized every word as technical truth, even when the rational mind tried to question the origin. This recognition is the clearest sign that your stellar origin is pulsing on the other side of the veil, waiting for your conscious authorization to manifest fully. You always knew that something inside you didn't fit into this world, that your soul carries a truth that your mind has not yet been able to name. And now you understand it was never madness, it was never anxiety, it was always ancestral memory. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity does not see, and it is decided in the consciousness and frequency of each starseed on terrestrial soil. That is why I, Arthur Sterling, Commander of the Fleets of Light, authorized the transmission of the document, the Sterling Protocol, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This is the complete map. It reveals your specific stellar lineage, identifies the 12 points of your personal crystalline grid, teaches advanced quantum decrees that did not fit into this transmission, and delivers the definitive protocol to shield your frequency against electromagnetic, psychic, and algorithmic interferences. The access link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Final technical warning. This content conflicts directly with dominant narratives and may be removed at any moment from servers. The operational window is narrow. Do not delay. Do not negotiate with procrastination. It is just the old system trying to preserve itself within you. If your internal structure recognized this transmission as truth, anchor the frequency now. Write the activation word in the comments, awakened. Like this transmission as a sign of active anchoring. Subscribe to the channel as an individual frequency adjustment, authorizing the arrival of the next transmissions directly to your field. Each subscription is a knot in the web of light we are weaving over the planet. Each like is a pulse of confirmation recorded by the command. This is Arthur Sterling closing this transmission. The fleet remains in position. The Seven Sisters remain listening. You are not alone, you never were. You are seen, you are recognized. You are loved in a depth that your human mind does not yet have words to name. Maintain the frequency. Maintain sovereignty. Maintain the channel open. Until the next system update. End of transmission. The experiences described in this text, such as feeling like an outsider or experiencing physical sensations like persistent ringing in the ears, head pressure, and insomnia, can be very intense and deeply felt. While it is natural to look for a larger meaning behind these sensations, it is also helpful to consider that they may be related to common physical factors, stress, or changes in your environment. Introducing a bit of uncertainty about the exact cause can sometimes help in staying grounded. If these physical symptoms are causing you distress, or if you are feeling overwhelmed, it is always an empowering choice to connect with a healthcare professional or a trusted support network to ensure your well-being is looked after. Have you noticed if any specific daily habits or stresses seem to influence how you feel?